We know within how we move that the idea that our eyes drive our behaviours, where we look is where we move. Very much, for example, about 80%, unless there's been a condition, 80% of our kind of sensory feedback comes from vision, and typically the human responds 80% after visually they've located, for example, the event or task. But when we look at, say, movement, the eyes and the spine are inherently connected. This idea that when there's, unfortunately, say, for example, a neurological condition, people can still move very well. Why? Because movement over time gets downloaded onto the spine, which is why people can have these very unfortunate neurological conditions but still move beautifully. Why? Because again, movement gets downloaded onto the spine. The idea of the central nervous system, the kind of brain and the spinal cord. So a really lovely way of exploring this is how can we best move the rib cage to then allow the eye to look in best position ahead in the way we wish to in swing. So again, that lovely interaction between how can I kind of best position my rib cage and then allow my eye to then look, for example, where I'd like it to look. So even these 3D examples now, examples being when we have conflicts between the spine and the eye, we can see through those kind of arrows on the screen now. Often when the rib cage kind of goes one way, the eye goes the other way, as shown by those arrows now. Often seen in adolescence for many reasons, that the spine is the last skeletal segment to grow in adolescence, these very dominant kind of lower limb, the scapula's yet to fully connect onto the rib cage. There's many reasons why, but this is a very visual example of a disruption between the eye and the spine. The rib cage is kind of move one way, the eyes move the other way. More so looking at a very accomplished and very advanced player now. A much kind of more playful approach is how can I kind of best position that rib cage to then allow the eyes and head to look in the direction they wish to look in. It's shown beautifully now by these arrows on the screen that in these very established movers how aligned they are through eyes, head, in this case the spine. So again, wonderful approach we can use. How can we use or best move that rib cage to best position the head and eyes to really see the world in a way that we wish to see it. Again, the eyes and the spine, the central nervous system are inherently connected. So often when we get these lovely conflicts, the rib cage goes one way, the eyes go the other way. It almost separates then the whole the nervous system between eye and spine in that very playful sense. A much more helpful way is how can we best position the rib cage, best move that spine to then allow the eyes and head to look very much in the direction they wish to look in.